Welcome back to another episode of Command Center, where we like to put our favorite commander, maybe even yours, front and center. And you know we can't do that unless we're playing those three magical letters, EDH. What does it stand for today, Derek?
It stands for entertainment doesn't hurt.
Entertainment doesn't hurt. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. Today we're talking about Law 6 of our 48 Laws of Magic Powers series.
Ooh, 1/8.
Yeah.
1/8 of the way there.
Sure, if you say so. Math. Remember, it's not my thing. All right, so Law 6 says, court attention at all costs. So I'm a little shaky on this law because I feel like the more attention you bring to yourself, the more harm that it's going to do to your game. So we're gonna dissect this to see if this law actually works or doesn't work. Remember, it's 48 of these, so we're actually going to see how they could apply or how they could actually hurt you in certain aspects of the game. So how about we get into that flavor text?
Yeah, we'll get into that first. It's still it does seem kind of counteractive to what we've been telling you, so hopefully the flavor text might illuminate a little bit more for us.
So this is a throwback, and this actually showed up in a recent reprint, I believe. And the name of this card is Unholy Hunger. It's a steep little casting CMC there, for sure. I don't care what the card does. Let's just look at that flavor text. Liliana viewed the attention of the angels as a testament to her power. Even so, they were an annoyance. So basically what it's saying here is that she is so powerful, these angels can't help but find her and she keeps attracting trouble wherever she goes because she's just that powerful. No matter where we go, we want to attract that attention. Maybe.
Or do we? Yeah, or do we?
I don't know.
This is interesting.
How about we dissect this? So like I said, court attention at all costs is the main aspect of the law. And so what this does, we're going to break down the ways that it tells you to basically become famous and how to be infamous in the world of, let's just put it in the world of business or in life, but let's try to see how this goes into gameplay and actual being a Magic the Gathering player or Commander player. So let's break down those main aspects of becoming infamous or becoming famous.
For sure.
First one, attack the sensational. Already, I'm not liking this.
Then you don't want to do that. You want to sit back. So I will say, before we even get too far into it, I do think we're going to have to use a different definition of winning in Commander for this law. Yeah. This is for a whole different type of player. We've been talking about sociopaths and all types of crazy stuff for all the other laws, where your winning is winning the game. I see this law as pertaining to a player who sees winning as having a really entertaining, interactive game of Commander.
Okay.
More so than just actually being the last one alive in a game.
Gotcha. Makes sense. But I do want to try to apply this to gameplay if we can, if possible.
For sure.
But remember, there's two aspects when it comes to playing Magic. It's playing the actual game, and it's the camaraderie of the people around you. So attacking the sensational. Basically what they're saying is when there is, let's say you just do something outlandish or people are reporting on you, on your outlandishness. Counteract that by saying that, no, they're crazy. I don't know what they're talking about. So that's kind of what they're saying right here. And this is why I say that this doesn't really apply that much to the game of Commander. Maybe it does in some weird way that we're not seeing, but I just don't see how this can help you, get through a game, whether in the actual gameplay or amongst friends.
Yeah, I see it as almost if you're attacking the sensational. You're almost, in Magic the way, especially in multiplayer, you're actually pushing the attention off yourself more so than bringing it to you. Whereas in a business setting or something like that, if you're going after sensational topics and all that, and you're trying to you can bring attention to yourself, you can become famous, as this puts it. But yeah, in Commander, there's only 4 players there. So if someone's doing something crazy, and you go ahead and start going after the sensational things happening, you're not bringing the attention to yourself, maybe if you're obnoxious enough about it, but I think you're actually bringing it to the other player. So this one's tough because it doesn't have that direct correlation that it does to the business world. Yeah.
If you have experience with this or you can see something that we're not thinking, let us know in the comments.
For sure.
But we're going to move on to the next one. There's 3 that we're going to roll into one, and I'm just going to say be unpredictable. All 3 of these kind of tips kind of cover each other, and it's be unpredictable. It's keep reinventing yourself and creating an air of mystery. All right. So I figured this can all be rolled into one. I actually like this one. I think that if you can become the life of the Magic party if you are unpredictable in your gameplay, unpredictable in the kind of decks that you're bringing. I feel like you can help liven it up a bit, and you can keep people on their toes.
There's so many levels to this one. I love this one so much. It helps every type of player. I'm talking about trying to win the game and literally be the last one alive. It pertains to that. You don't want people to know what your strategy is. You don't want people to know your win con. If you're winning the game the same way every time, it's going to be a lot easier to stop. So being unpredictable, that's going to help you win. But in the grander scheme of having a good time in Commander, people get sick. If your whole way to win the game is the same thing, let's just say, I'm guilty of this, you love Triumph of the Hordes. Mm-hmm. And for every deck, you're always winning with Triumph of the Hordes. Your play group is going to hate that card after the 100th time they've all died to a bunch of whatever you're throwing with poison at them. They're going to get sick of it. Poison 6, see what I did there? Okay. But they're literally just going to get tired of choking on poison. They're not going to want to do that anymore. So if you vary it up, and if you're unpredictable in one game, you kill somebody with poison, that next game, maybe you mill somebody, and that next game, you're just swinging with fat dudes, like, that's a whole lot more likely to just have a winning experience for everybody at the table. And this law actually, this aspect of this law might be the one that I think is the most important to Commander in general for all aspects of winning.
Yeah, when I first started playing Magic, I tried to stick to a certain, I believe they call it the psychography, I forgot what they call it, but there are a type of Magic players.
Oh,
you have your Johnnies and Spikes and all that stuff.
Timmy,
and all that stuff. And I thought that was the way that I wanted to play Magic. Like you fit into a certain category, and I realized pretty much after a year of playing that I wanted to be more out of the box. I want it to be, you don't know what I'm bringing to the table. This week I'm playing a combo deck. Next week I'm bringing something totally different. And I feel like that's helped my gameplay. Like I like to jump around a bit, and you'll never know what the deck is going to do or what the goal of the deck is. And I feel like you can actually increase or better your gameplay and experience if you work outside of what you normally do. I know we have those strong aggro players. It's like, all I do is aggro. That should be a shirt. Let's make sure we note that.
Yeah.
And like that's all their deck is going to do, no matter what the color. Branch out, try something different, try something out. If it doesn't work for you, that's all fine, but at least you try. And bring it to the table and see how it works. See how it works for you and also your game, your group.
And this is amazing advice for anyone who cares about actually winning. I don't know. I'm a player who, it doesn't make a difference if I win or lose. If I get to do some stuff, I'm cool. Mm-hmm. So if you're playing a very similar style of deck and you're not winning all the time, maybe your play group won't get sick of it. But if you're someone who likes to win and cares about winning, you need to vary your deck styles. Because nothing is worse than the same person winning every game the same
way.
Oh, I aggroed you out. Or the worst, no offense to anybody, maybe offense, stacks players. If your whole thing is every deck you build, you just want to lock everyone out and stop them from playing, it's not even the fact that you're winning every game. It's the fact that there's no variation. People want to interact in different ways. So I think, especially for the people who build those powerful decks, having variation is huge to keeping a healthy play group, because it can really get there can be a toxicity that comes out of it if there isn't that variation.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on to the next.
Don't play stacks.
Sorry, we're talking to everybody except stacks players. I've never ventured into the stacks world. I think I may have done it once, and it was a bad idea, and I hated myself for it. Like I felt bad inside. Like I don't want to do that
dirty.
again.
Just shower afterwards.
All right, the next aspect of increasing your infamy, becoming famous. All right, so
infamicity. I like that. I don't know if that's a word or not, but I'm taking it. Infamicity.
Putting that on a shirt. All right. Better to be attacked or slandered than ignored. So this applies more so in the world of entertainment, in the business world. If you're trying to be a media mogul or something like that, trying to be in the spotlight. All news is good news. All press is good press. This is what this kind of leads more towards. Better to be attacked and slandered than to be ignored. I just don't see how it works.
That is the opposite. The last thing you want to do is be attacked. Now, if somebody's slandering you, I guess it's pretty bad Magic too. But literally being attacked is what you're trying to avoid. Being ignored is probably the best thing that can happen to you in a game of Magic. Yeah, I really don't see how this one. Again, the only way I can see this is if your role in your play group is the one who gets everybody laughing, gets everybody engaged. Because it's very easy. There's a lot of pods where you play Commander, it's turn 7 and no one has attacked, and everyone's holding everything up. So sometimes every play group needs that player that's like, it's turn 2, I got a Llanowar Elves, I'm hitting you in the face with a 1/1 just because I can. So stuff like that.
So you're getting the party started.
Exactly. Yeah, so this might work for some parties. It's not going to help you win games, but again, I do see how this has a role in Magic. But at the same time,
very loosely.
I'd rather be being ignored than being hit in the face. I don't know about everybody else.
If you don't mind taking that first hit or dealing out the first damage, then go for it.
Yeah.
By all means, get the ball rolling. Like, don't make this a boring game per se.
See, this is the Ken rule. Like that's what it makes me think of. This is definitely the Ken rule because this is
also.
I feel like this is his biggest philosophy. Like if games are going slow, he's gonna get something started. He doesn't care if he suffers and he's the first one knocked out because of it. He's gonna make sure there's some action happening, even if he's on the wrong end of it. And I do think we have a lot more fun games because of that. So I encourage if you got some play groups out there, whoever wants to take on this task of being the party starter, it's kind of a delicate role to fill, but I think every play group needs one.
Yeah. And definitely don't do this outside of the gameplay.
Don't attack people. No fighting.
No slandering here.
Yeah. Putting that on a t-shirt too. Don't slander your friends.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing, aspect of becoming infamous. Make yourself appear larger than life. I can see how this can work. We've actually talked about this in the past couple of episodes. Basically, be the person that people want to talk about, be it outside of the game or inside of the game. Maybe not in the sense that people don't want to play with you because you're just that good of a Magic player, but be the person that people want to be around, that people want to talk to. People, if you sit down, it's like, okay, my friends, they know that I have the strong. Actually, I'm starting to rethink this. Like, does this mean that you actually have the strongest deck at the table, and now it's a game of arch enemy? Like, I don't know where to go with this.
That's the danger. Like, you want a reputation, but in certain ways, you don't want the reputation as the strongest player necessarily in multiplayer, because that means you're getting killed first. But at the same time, you want a reputation as someone who isn't just a punching bag.
Right.
You want, if someone attacks you, you want to be known as the maybe I'm just saying this because I'm this way. It might help to be known as a petty person because I'm super petty. I'm salty. I'm petty. I'm not afraid to admit it. If someone comes at me, I will find all of my resources, no matter how dumb of a decision it is, and I will send them at them.
Yeah.
And there are times that can benefit because someone might be more hesitant if they're looking for somebody to swing at on turn 4 and they don't really have he's just going to be a pain. I'm going to have to deal with him the whole game. Let me just swing over that way. But there's some pluses to minuses to that. You don't want to create a toxic environment by being salty too much either.
Right. And like I said, you don't want to, like we just talked about, you don't want to be the guy who always brings the strongest decks that everyone has to, hone in on because that's going to kill your play experience. But I think this leans more towards reputation, like we talked about.
For sure.
Maybe there's an aspect of the gameplay where it's like, if you are thinking about attacking me, the retribution, like you said, the pettiness, the retribution is going to be 10 times stronger. So in that sense, you can make yourself appear larger than life in that specific instance. So it's like, maybe I'm going to think twice about attacking that guy this time because I don't want the crackback or possible what he's holding up in his hand. So maybe that's one way you can lie to people. In that aspect to keep people from attacking you. So, but all in all, it kind of has its positive, it kind of has its negative, and you just kind of have to, use it sparingly where you can. Don't want to create a toxic group where you're not having fun or your play group isn't having fun. But at the same time, you want to have a good reputation where you all can enjoy the game.
I think this actually, normally what we'll do is we'll talk about specific commanders and deck strategies. This is more of an abstract one.
Yeah.
But I do think this also relates very directly to commander choices. Where you're talking about people, when it says play a famous commander, there's certain commanders that you get into games and you get excited about. I know I actually get excited about playing against Nekusar. I love playing against Nekusar. I know cards are going to be drawn. I know I won't be stuck. I won't be missing land drops. I know things will be happening. Whereas some commanders you see you've never heard of, sometimes having, and the thing is, it's very personal. Again, I saw your reaction to Nekusar just now. You
yeah.
clearly don't feel the same way.
Right.
So it's going to be different, and this is something to feel out with your play group. But you might have that one deck with the commander that either they don't mind the most or that your play group likes, and that could benefit you just because it has that fame and reputation as a fun commander.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to necessarily pick out any specific commander for this one as well, because I feel like you can go both ways with this.
Yeah.
When you court attention at all costs, you can have a commander that's in the top 10 of EDH rec that everyone, as soon as they see it, attracts her, and it's like, oh boy.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here
like
we
that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is what I like to do is bring out those commanders that people rarely ever see, and then people are going to be like, "Oh, what is that?" That also brings attention to you as well.
That's true.
So that's more so what I like to do. So it's two ways that you can do this, and that's why I don't really want to pick out any specific commanders to talk about with courting attention.
Yeah, it's a very personal thing.
Yeah.
I do think though, when you know your friends and you know your play group, there's definitely styles of commanders and styles of decks that'll garner positive attention, that'll bring a positive experience, because whether the reputation is outspoken or not, like just like we're just having with Nekusar, you know your friends, and I know that if I bring that up, if I hear a groan, I am much less likely to want to bring a Nekusar out, because I'm not trying to make everybody miserable. That's not the point. It's supposed to be a fun game.
Right. Yeah, so I think we can cut it off here.
Yeah.
Like we said, this law, it has its goods, it has its bad. It applies in some areas, it doesn't apply in others. But that's why we wanted to break these down and actually tell you how you can use them in actual gameplay or in your actual play group.
On a positive note, this one is by far the least likely to breed sociopathic, psychopathic tendencies. So there's that. We got that going.
I mean, unless you're a narcissist.
Oh.
But that means that it was already there. We didn't do
We
that.
didn't cause it. It wasn't our fault. No liability.
So, please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. We definitely appreciate the positive reception that we're getting from this series. We're definitely going to keep it up and try to get through it, push through it as the year goes along. I can't wait to see what I've read this book, I listened to the series on tape, and I've gone through every one of these at least 5 times, and I don't even know what comes next. We just do it week by week and see what happens. I can't wait to see what the next law is.
I'm just excited to see if we have any morals left by the time we finish this. How corrupt are we going to be as Magic players when this is done? We'll find out.
Yeah, so again, like and subscribe. Consider becoming a patron. We have some awesome things for everyone out there. And so we're going to pretty much just leave it there, and I hope that you all are having a happy, healthy Commander 19 season.
Woo! Yeah, get excited. We got lots of stuff coming, so be ready.
Peace.